Hello, world. Welcome to World Humanitarian Drive's Inspiring Millions show. This is the show where we feature brilliant minds from around the world to share with us their story, one story at a time. Thank you for joining us live or on replay. I'm Viva Andrada O'Flynn, your host and Global Media Relations of World Humanitarian Drive. It's a third week of March. We are still celebrating Women's Month. In fact, it is Universal Women's Week, a special holiday for advocates of human rights. On last week's episode, our guest, Princess Angelique Monet, mentioned that to create strong men, women must also empower men who appreciate us. The more we empower our men, the more that they are going to empower us. On a side note, congratulations to Princess Angelique Monet on receiving World Humanitarian Drive's Inspiring Humanitarian Award. So in this week's episode, we would not want men to feel left out. We believe that in order to achieve gender equality, we need to include men in the discussion as well. Our special guest today is a National Assembly member, Brikama South Constituency of the Gambia, Honorable Lamin J. Sanneh. We'll get to know his inspiring story in a short while. Meanwhile, here's a brief background about World Humanitarian Drive. World Humanitarian Drive, also known as WHD, is an international NGO founded in Croydon, UK, by British Indian global peace activist, entrepreneur, writer, Dr. Abdul Basit Saeed. The primary vision of WHD is to promote peace, education, and trade harmony initiatives globally among everyone across the world, regardless of race, gender, religion, or nationality, living as one family. On this Inspiring Millions show, we encourage you to engage with us. Please help us spread peace, love, and inspiration by sharing this link. Put your questions that you would like to ask our special guest, Honorable Lamin J. Sanneh, or comments that you have for us in the chat box. We will read them later on in the show. Let us also know where you are watching this. Wherever you are in the world, let us keep you company and brighten your day as we share goodwill and inspiration. Today, our virtual stage takes us to Republic of the Gambia, the smallest country in mainland Africa. Its borders are surrounded by Senegal and the Atlantic Ocean. It's known as the Smiling Coast of Africa. We are very much honored to have with us Honorable Lamin J. Sanneh, Brikama South MP, recipient of prestigious Global Humanitarian Award, Stars of COVID, awarded by WHD for his selfless contribution to humanity, especially during COVID-19. Since the outbreak of COVID-19, Honorable Sanneh, a social worker for many years, has been leading the fight against the pandemic in his constituency, using community-based initiatives to sensitize and empower his people against the pandemic. Salam alaikum, peace be upon you. Thank you for joining us here today, Honorable Lamin J. Sanneh.
Wa alaikum salam, Viva. Thank you so much. I'm happy to be part of this program where we need to talk to people to inspire people globally, more especially women participation in our socio-economic development, which is very, very key. As far as I'm concerned, Viva, I believe women and men are two sides of the same coin, completely inseparable. And they have an integral role, especially some of our leadership positions. Even me, I'm a guy of faith, I belong to Islam, but even if you go to Islam, the greatest leaders in history was even quoted in the Quran, who happened to be Bilqis. Bilqis, she's a woman, a virtuous woman for that matter, and she's quoted by the Quran as one of the greatest leaders in history of this world. So, and again, I also want to believe that women naturally have that sense of humor. You will never quote a dictator who happened to be a woman. all the dictators who has killed men in many ways. So it's good for us to involve them. That is why, as far as I am concerned, my political party, we have a quota system. We have a percentage of women that's supposed to be in the parliament, in the cabinet, and senior cabinet position for that matter. Currently, my speaker, the Speaker of the Republic of the Gambia, is a woman. And we have 5 more. But as far as my party is concerned, we have up to 30% of our parliament supposed to be women. So there's a quota system already in place, embedded in our manifesto. So we need to promote them. Women promotion is very, very important. If they are in the leadership position, we believe the world would have been a better place and we would be safe. So thank you so much, Viva. This is my position with regards to the participation of women, especially in leadership positions.
Barakabake, thank you for sharing your thoughts on gender equality and women's empowerment. Thank you, Honorable, for joining us today. Could you please briefly introduce yourself to the world? Give us a short backstory. What do you consider the most important highlights of your life that led you to be the MP, the politician that you are today?
Thank you so much, Viva. I am Honorable Lamin Sanneh, National Assembly Member for Burkina South of the Republic of the Gambia. In the Gambia, we have a parliament that is about 58 members, which I am fortunate to be part of it. I'm a social worker by profession after my junior and senior secondary schooling. I went to tertiary education to study development studies, where I became a social worker for 17 good years. Together also, I'm a youth and a sport enthusiast, more especially football. So as far as I'm concerned, we have formed a series of association, women groups all over. I've been working with women to empower them, more especially in horticultural gardening, income generating activities, and also help them to have a bank of their own, a credit union, where we've been working. We have 16 women group. We call them clusters. So these clusters form the Samasang Women Samasang Credit Union. So we call them Samasang Women Federation. So this federation, they have a lot of savings there. So due to my mobilization skills, talking to them, empower them, a lot of things. So we were able to form this credit union. They have their own bank. So in the area of, when you come to tuition fee, they will come and get money from the bank, go and pay their tuition fees to help their children in various ways of education. So like, as I told you, Child Fund is an international NGO that I have worked for 17 years. The well-being of the child is our priority. We have 3 life stages. Life stage 1, our core intent in that life stage, we need healthy and a secure infant. So life stage 2, we are talking about educated and a confident child. And life stage 3 is skill and involve youth in the socio-economic development. So every 3 years, we conduct a feasibility study on child poverty, root causes and phases of child poverty. We do a program that will address this issue. So the issue of education is key, the issue of health is key, and the issue of income generation is key. So thank God we have this thing, we have our credit union. Even myself, even right now, I'm an MP. If I want loan, I will go to this credit union, take loan, do whatever I want to do, then gradually return it. So that has been going on. Again, also in the area of sport, how do we mobilize resources? How do we empower women and youth? You have a lot of them. So this type also, we want to have a say in Gambia Football Association. We want to have a divisional skills, because I have this belief that not every individual is academically sharp in class, notwithstanding you have a skill to survive. That skills can be any of the sporting discipline. So we form a formidable committee we call Burkina Youth and Sport Association. With this one, we were able to form a club called Burkina United. So we started from the elimination from third division round, second division, and now we, thank God, we are a divisional club who has won the league twice. And we are able to market players outside in Europe that are currently playing. The last under-20 tournament that was played in Nouakchott, last month, Gambia participated and they were eliminated at the semi-final by Ghana. The leading goal scorer happened to come from Brikama United, who is also called Momodu Bojang. He has already secured a contract in Boa Vista in Portugal. Like, contract is already signed. He is coming here from there, going to Portugal to play professional football. So that's the essence of forming this club, to expose our players nationally and internationally. And again, right now, the current president of Gambia Football Federation is a resident of Brikama. That was also our major objective, to expose our future administrators to be at the center stage as decision makers, not only passengers, but air carrier for that matter. So thank God we are able to achieve that. And I am very integral in forming this club, and also creating an opportunity for the youth to come and exhibit their skills. Together, right now, we are playing the tournament, and on Monday we are playing with the Gambia National Army. They have a football club that will be playing. That is going to be an interesting game. That is going to be played just in a village after Brikama. So these are some of the achievements which I am very much proud of. I'm very much comfortable. And by doing this thing, I became a popular figure. So when the struggle also went, because remember, Gambia were into dictatorship for 22 years by the former president, Yahya Jammeh. So 2016, all the political parties came together to form a coalition and vote him out. So I have a fundamental role in that build-up. I was fully participating, even whereas my NGO is vehemently against party politics. But I told them outright, this has reached to the climax. We must salvage the Gambia or we fail woefully. So that is why I took that central role to bring in the current president as the president of this country. He came from my party, United Democratic Party. We went into primary and did a lot of background campaign to make him win the primary and become our presidential candidate under an independent ticket, where we went back again to campaign and make sure we won the dictator. And the dictator refused to leave the seats. So we all came together, and thank God in the advent of the economic troop in the country, he has to leave. Currently is in the Equatorial Guinea. So based on those things, there was a popular demand for me to come on board. And Viva, interestingly, I only campaigned for 3 days. People were coming outside, buying a lot of things for me that we want to help you. They created my posters all over that we definitely want you to come on board to serve this town, your town which you are really dying for. But thank God, eventually part of my body belongs to the society in which I live. So if they demand me to come on board, I have to come on board. And that is why I came and I was voted in. I contested with 5 people and I emerged victorious. Almost 40% of the vote in parliamentary election in Brikama South, I got it. So that was how I became. But one thing also I observed, Viva, this is my own thinking, and I want to believe that when you come to election in the country, women participated. They'll be clapping, dancing, and we will campaign the whole constituency with them. But what we are thinking now is high time for them to come on board now. So that is why as a party, we have to put heads together to bring in a quota system so that they can come on board, which I really want to thank them for the invaluable support they are doing. If we move out to do anything, women are in everything. So even in all our political activities, they are very integral. And currently, I want to share a very interesting story. We have one National Assembly member who happens to come from my party, and she was nominated by the president. But she's one of the most vibrant National Assembly members in the Gambia, by the name Honorable Yakumba Jaite. She's a lawyer by profession. She did her schooling in UK, but she's one of the guys who has lens. And thank God today, we are very much proud of her, and she's making that impact that the women deserve. And she's also inspiring a lot of women to come on board. So you have to not only inspiring them, but we have to create the environment for them. So for her coming also inspired a lot that are interested. So this is my short story as far as I am concerned. a youth and a football enthusiast, a social worker by profession, where I have formed a very powerful credit union and is still in progress. I still took loan from that. I still take loan from that credit union. This is my story, Viva.
Okay. Honorable Lamin J. Sanneh, that's a lot of achievements, and good luck to your football team. And wow, it only took 3 days to campaign. So Honorable, why did you get into politics? Why do you do what you do?
Yeah, Viva, I have realized one thing in the Gambia and most of the sub-Saharan African countries, we have this problem. When you talk of politics, people will keep on blaming the politician. When there is this international declaration, enfranchisement target people that are 18 years. People below 18 years don't vote in an election. So 18 years shows that you are physically mature, mentally mature, and psychologically mature. That is why you have to partake a process in which our leaders and government are elected, with the responsibility bringing development to our doorstep and equitable distribution of the resources. So this is very, very important. But people here will only vote for the politician to get the position and forget about them. So eventually they become dictator by themselves. So that is why we have to come on board. And I keep on saying, Gambia has a multi-party democracy. It's not a force on you to join a political party. But you have to look at whether a political party has represent my political agenda and your political objective. If so, you go there and look at the manifesto. Tomorrow, we want to promote education up to tertiary level, bachelor's level as my political party. We want to provide free education up to tertiary level, bachelor's for that matter. So if you don't do that as a government, it means we are fair. You will not vote for us. So we have to be there to be a control check on the politician so that the politician will not take us for granted. And that is why I came on board to correct that situation, because the last 22 years, Gambia went under a turbulent time where we were subjected to a lot of hardship in the Gambia because of dictatorship. And that is why we are saying now, no to that. Anybody who comes will be controlled by the electorate. So whether we like it or not, that is the same of evidence. So long you remain a human being, you are a political animal. So it's ideal to come to politics and correct a situation that is not ideal for you and your society. So that is why I was attracted. In 1996, when the United Democratic Party was formed, the leadership came to my family, and they approached my grandfather that they want to adopt him as a political father of the party. And I also studied the political manifesto. This is how I became. When I was even going to school, I was a pulling agent for this party, where we contested against the dictator in many ways, both parliamentary and presidential. I'm always there. So I believe that nothing can be correct if we don't take our primary role in politics and correct the situation. If not, the politics will be left in the hands of politicians, and they will do what is not our interest. So it's very good for us to come on board. And now we have attracted a lot of youths that are coming in. And in fact, I am very much happy we have very, very young people from the university. They are coming in, and they are very vocal, talking to different youths to come on board. So that we also have a quota system for youths also, as far as our party is concerned. We want to bring in youths and women into politics, seriously, not always elderly people that are very old to do certain muscular activities. So that is why I came into politics, and thank God, alhamdulillah, I'm enjoying politics. I'm really enjoying politics.
So, Honorable, what role can politics play in a time of crisis such as COVID-19?
Well, I think politics is everything. COVID-19, people have a very serious misconception. But when I appear in my constituency as an MP, you have a lot of electorate that have respect for me and they listen to me. And I was with them. I'm not only COVID, I'm into a lot of them because I'm also part of the body, the regional body called Freedom of Religious and Belief, where I also use my position to talk to my people, sensitize them, especially with regards to hand washing with our masks always. So this is really, really, really helping a lot. And again, we are in a very serious, unusual time. The rate of deaths in our communities is so high that they understand very well this is happening. So definitely now, as far as we are concerned, we use politics through the parliament to close our borders to avoid the introduction of COVID into our country. We have hand sanitizers, we have hand machine. We have a lot of, we are also advocating, pushing the government to go in for ventilators. So we have centers where you take our victims, though it's not very much serious compared to other countries. But we have to be very much cautious. Thank God now, even when you are entering into the mosque, elderly and everybody will put on a face mask. So that is the beauty about it. So politics play a key role. One thing is a global pandemic. Already WHO has declared it, and we know what is happening in Europe and other countries, and even our neighboring countries, Senegal. So that is why we cannot wait until when the disease has already taken a giant position in the Gambia to kill all of us. We will not allow that. So we are using politics to sensitize our people on daily basis. There is an interesting radio station in the Gambia called Mimbekeri. If you go to that, a lot of people listen. In fact, it has the largest followers in the country at the moment. And it's in Brahma here. The proprietor came day before yesterday. He was on the quarantine, but yesterday he came from the quarantine center. He is with us by the name Padu Modovoja. So he has a very good media outlet that you can talk to the greater part of our community in the Gambia. So politics is very key in talking to the people, raise their awareness with how deadly COVID is. And Viva is very interesting also. We have a very interesting local hubs here that you can use to cure, because COVID also has that connection to a common flu, because it has all the symptoms of flu. So there is a hub there. You have to boil it, then use that one to hit your head, and it really helps in curing COVID-2 here. So most of the people also use it too. And through our useful sensitization, we also talk to them. Even yesterday, I went to Harvest, because currently somebody is in the victim center, quarantine center, who I went to collect it for him to use it, and he's improving. Thank you.
So, Honorable Sanneh, what makes a good politician? What do you think are the qualities of a good political leader?
Yeah, a good political leader, one thing that makes you a very good political leader, you must tell the people the truth. Any political leader, you are in any leadership position, you must know that you have a moral responsibility that should impact on the life of the Gambians. And you should not be corrupt. Do not take the resources of the people and deny them. Why do you, if you want to amass all the wealth you enjoy on the detriment of the electorate, you are not a good leader. You are creating a problem. No matter whatever resources you have to factor your electorate, your citizens too. They also need to survive. And it's a moral responsibility of a leader to provide the basic necessities. That is why we're talking about equitable distribution of resources. Because if you have all these things, why? Even if you have 10 compounds, you are only going to live in one compound at a time. If you have 10 vehicles, 10 motor cars, you only use one at a time. 10,000 houses, you sleep in one house. You must take breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So amassing all this wealth is senseless. Distribute it equally so that your people can, because if they are hungry, you are fed, your people will not be at peace. So this is the problem. You must make sure that you distribute the resources. Tell the people the truth. Distribute it equitably among your citizens, because everybody commit their resources and give it to you to manage it so that you can send it back to the people equally. without which we'll have a problem. So that is very key. And again, no matter what happens, any remote area you go, you must be with people, eat with them, sleep with them, drink with them, feel with them, empathize with them, help them to come out from that vulnerable situation by raising their awareness, sensitizing them. So you must be with them. Like as I'm right, my uncle passed away today, which I'm very much sorry. But I have to go to the hospital, help them to get the death certificate. It's with me here, it's with me here. Then again, put the body in my car, take it to the mortuary, bath it, take it to the mosque and to the graveyard. So you must always have your people diligently and do not be selfish. Do not be that corrupt person who wants to take all the wealth on the detriment of the masses. If you do that, you are a failed politician and a failed leader. Because people are watching you. They know. That is why now, even in the Gambian constitution, we are changing it to have what we call asset declaration before you get any senior position. And also we have anti-corruption bill that is also tabled before us. We want to enforce all those things. So if you are serving the people, you must be a servant of the people, but not be a president, a king of the people, a servant of the people, serve the people, tell them the truth, distribute the resources equally. You will be a great leader. Thank you.
Honorable Lamin, Sanneh, you've discussed the qualities of a good leader really well. How about this one? How can ordinary citizens help their country?
Yes, ordinary citizens are very, very important. Their role is one of the primary roles in any political process in the country. Let the ordinary citizens own the country. Whosoever is supposed to get that position, you must be voted by the ordinary citizens. Now, for them to help the country, they should not only vote and forget about politics, they should monitor. We have voted Honorable Lamin. Is he doing what is expected of him? If I'm not doing, next time if I want to come, you kick me out. You understand? And evidence is saying, in fact, so long you are a leader, you have a moral responsibility. If you refuse to represent the felt need of the people, there should be morally obliged to restrain. That's the theory of Bentham calculus. So therefore, you must represent the people. The ordinary citizen should be a check on us every time. If you voted me with the intention to bring in development, and I deviate from that track, I impose myself as a king or a demigod, the next election I wait for me. If I come, you kick me out and bring in somebody. So if you keep on doing that, people must dance to the tune of the electorate. So I'm urging all of them, you don't only vote for the people, you forget about them, check on them. This is in your manifesto, you want to do X, Y, and Z. Why don't you do it? They must give you a reason, a tangible reason. If not, next time don't vote them. And not necessarily even waiting for the election time to come. You are there. There are a lot of laws in our constitutions. If I put you there with the intention to do a particular job you are not doing, I will use that law, that particular law, to recall you and bring in somebody who will serve the people. So you have to be a check on the leaders every time, the leaders you elected for. So this is the primary role of the electorate, the ordinary citizens. Because when it comes to the election, they have to go and vote. So if they don't vote, you will not be a leader. So that is another fundamental thing. From there, you will also direct the type of the system or the type of the country you want to live. Not what the politicians said, but what the citizens want. And what the citizens want is control. They must have a control over their leaders. So that's their role, that's their primary role, which I am calling every citizen, private citizen in any country. You don't only vote and stop at there. Go down to control them and make sure that what they promise is done. Thank you, Vigo.
Honorable Sanneh, what would you like to achieve? What would you want to be your important contribution as the MP of Brikama South?
Thank you so much, Viva. This is a very important question. I don't know whether you are aware about the political situation in the Gambia. This 2021, December 4th, we are going to poll. And all the opposition came together in 2016 to remove a dictator. A lot of damage has been done in the Gambia. That is why we have a Janet commission. This was a commission that was instituted by government, and it was subject to parliamentary approval, which we approved, to look at the dealing of the former president. There were a lot of unnecessary killing. There are a lot of unnecessary imprisonment. Some people were driven out of our country. So the commission was done in such a way. And also, how do we reconcile our differences? So we have the Truth, Reparation, and Reconciliation Commission also going on, where most of those problems are legally motivated crimes that were committed. Our constitution was made in 1997. 1997 to that is almost 27, 28 years now. So if the constitution, every 21 years, constitution should be subject for review. So this Constitutional Review Commission also came, but it failed. So taking the Gambia into the Third Republic with all the reform agenda is key. But currently, the way the president is going in the Gambia is not promising as we want. So he has formed his own political party. He now leaves us and he wants to continue. We are also very firm, doing a lot of politics behind the scene. And December, we want to kick him and bring in our leader, the leader that will represent our aspiration, our needs, and the hope of this country to take a center state. So by doing so, we want to Gambia, the Gambia we want to live must be a Gambia that represents the people's interest. And again, interestingly, Gambia is a country, the length of our country is 11,295 square kilometers in length. So we are divided by the river in both sides, where you have the north and the south. But if you look at it, we also have fresh water halfway, and in the interior is the fresh water, here is salt water. As you know, we are surrounded by Senegal and the Atlantic Ocean in the other side. So we have a lot of opportunity to grow what we are going to consume here. Rice is our staple food. So we have the fresh water, either tidal or pump irrigation. So we're thinking in that light, how do we commercialize our agriculture and grow from substantial farming to commercial farming? So this is the dimension in which we are thinking. How do we make sure that our health system improves seriously? Because COVID has taught us a lot of lessons. So these are the dimensions in which that is captured in our manifesto. And inshallah, we want by December, we bid the president and become the government of the day, where we'll form our own cabinet, our own parliament together. We'll be able to take the Gambia as the Silicon Valley of Africa, which used to be the Smiling Coast. So that's a political aspiration that we're thinking about changing. And we're doing a lot of grassroots politics now, but it's really paying a dividend completely. I wish you are in the Gambia to see what is entailed in the country.
So, Honorable Sanneh, you are also a family man. How do you keep the balance between politics and your family life?
Well, I want to seize this opportunity to especially thank my family for really accommodating me, motivating me, and accepting me to be in politics. Sometimes there will be a demand. The whole of last week, I was in the interior of the country. We were looking at the different bills that were tabled. So 1 week I was away from my family. Sometimes if I leave in the morning, I go to the National Assembly. I'll come almost late. I'll find some of my children from schools. They've studied and they are on bed. So it's only in the early hours of the morning I will set eye on them. Sometimes it will take me a day. I will not see some of my children. But my family are really, really supporting my political aspiration. And I really want to thank. In fact, my dad is late, but my mother lives with me in my compound here. My wife is here with 5 boys with 1 girl. They are doing very well, and they're really supporting me politically, and with their families too, especially the family member of my wife and that of my mom's family. You know, we are from a very big clan too that are also helping me. And I came from a very big family, the extended family system. We have both nuclear and extended family system here, but they're really supporting me and helping me in this strike to make sure that we impact positively in the life of the Gambian by changing the political scenario. So that's the situation, and they are very helpful. Sometimes when I am away, I feel very much uncomfortable, probably 2-3 weeks. I'm away from my family. I'll be in the interior, working on certain policies, working on certain laws, and I will be away. We can only talk on phone, but setting my eye on them sometimes becomes a problem. But they really accommodate that and appreciate it. So you can see we are together in it. Really, they are really helping me, supporting me. I really thank them for their generous support they are doing.
Thank you for sharing what your family life is like. And thank you also for what you do for humanity. So it's International Women's Month. How should men make women and girls feel safe? How do you make women and girls around you feel safe?
This is a very important question. When you talk about women or girls, in the same way you are talking about boys and men, because we are two sides of the same coin, completely inseparable. If they are not safe, we are not safe. So that is why protection is very key. And in the Gambia here, that is why in the Gambia we have a Ministry of Women and Children Affairs. We are Women Affairs Ministry in the country, which is really, really helping them, especially in their education. We are very, very, very much interested in that. Girl education and women participation in politics. That is very key, and in all the leadership positions. So we do a lot of sensitization. Tell them, look, you are already great. You are already great. And again, one thing, what is happening? Most of us, me, my wife spend time with my children. And if you come to the Gambia, it's almost women who play that critical role, taking almost their time with the children, talking with them, living with them, doing everything with them. So they mold them, which is very, very key. And that one, you cannot pay any consultant to do that in our Gambia because of our social fabric, because of our faith aspect of it. They take care of our children. So they are very, very, very important. So if you come to raising of children, start from the mother. The girl child there need to be given. That is why. So we have what we call the family chores. Responsibility on them should be reused to allow them to go to school. Help them. Now you go to Gambian University, you have more girls there than boys. They are doing very well there. You go to our senior secondary school, you have a whole lot of them doing them. So we help them to build up their capacities. Also build up confidence in them. Because of our socio-cultural issues, make some of them to abstain. So you have to build that confidence. So you do programs. I think if I'm done, we'll see a way of talking to Dr. Abdul Basit in how do we come out with programs of building up their confidence to help them know that they are more important in our politics, they are more important in our governance system, they are more important in our parliamentary system, so that they can come on board. Building that confidence is a moral responsibility. I think if the WHD can even come in that dimension, that will also help a lot. Though we've been doing, throughout my 17 years, we are doing that, helping them, help them to mobilize their resources, help them to build up their potential in different dimensions. So that is one very important key thing that we should not always forget. Help them build up their capacity, build up the confidence in them. If they have confidence, they can do. But thank God now, if you go to our cabinet, even our senior civil servant, some of them are women and they are doing very well. So we have to create that environment. And thank God, I'm very much happy in the Gambia now, where we have women forming their own political parties. So that's a very good start. And that confident aspect, we must inspire them to build that confidence in them to come on board. If they don't got that, they are okay. Now, even in the army, you have a lot of women soldiers, in the police, in all the security denominations. So we must build the confidence in them. By doing that, they are safe. They are safe, and also help them in their education. I think that is a way forward as far as creating that safe environment for them by building up their capacities, helping them to build their confidence, in terms of leadership and participation in our socio-economic development.
So we have viewers from the Philippines and Benin Republic. So many of our viewers have not been to the Gambia yet. We even have a question from a viewer: is Gambia safe for tourists? So this would be a great opportunity for them to know more about the Gambia. So Honorable Sanneh, what do you love most about the Gambia?
Viva, I think this is a very important platform. Gambia is the smallest West African country, but we are known, it's a tourist destination. Almost, even whereas at this pandemic, some of the tourists are coming, more especially Scandinavia, UK, Germany, Holland, you name them. And we are discovered, in fact, without COVID, you have other countries that are also inspired to come in. The most beautiful part is the sunlight we have. Gambia is a tropical country. We are within the tropics. So we experience the sunlight that is here is really health-giving. So along the Atlantic Ocean, we have a sandy beach where you have all these hotels built. So almost that place throughout the year is filled with tourists all over. So we have that hospitality. We are very friendly when you come to Gambia. Gambians are very friendly. Anytime, you know, because of our social fabric, if you have a stranger, you will accept that guy as your blood sister or a brother, an uncle. Eat, sleep, and drink with him, help him whatever he wants to achieve. So that is the hospitality we are known for. So also our cuisine, also we have different foods here. We have a lot of vegetable gardens that some of them are produced here. So if you go to our hotel industry, most of the tourists like it. Like you go to Scandinavia, if you talk about Gambia, they cherish you, they help you. Even in UK, they know. So Gambia is one of the countries, and also like currently we have a lot of Chinese here. You know what we call rosewood? Rosewood is too many in our forest, but it's very unfortunate. It's all cutting off, sent to the international place. You have a lot of Chinese too here. So we have Guinea savanna. We have the convectional type of rainfall. So currently we have the river Gambia that stretches from Katon to Koina. That is also helping attracting a lot of tourists in the country too. The other issue that you have a lot of birds here. You have also tourists that are very interested in bird watching. So we have a lot of historical heritage. Do you know Kunta Kinte hail from the Gambia? If you go to Makati, you also have Stone Circle in the Gambia. So these are historical sites that the tourists will read and they want to visit. We also have one of our cultural things we call Futampafu. The former president used to get a lot of tourists from America. They used to come here to attend that festival purposely in the Gambia. It is done once in a year. So you have a lot of historical sites that we have Monkey Park, and we have a lot of hippopotamus too in the Sierra region of the country. The tourists will come to see those animals live, you know, filled with them. You have a lot of monkey park. You have species of birds in the country too. You also have crocodiles. You have kachikali too. All these are known. The tourists, when they come, they know this country very well. You have a lot of book study. We also have one of the leading hotel in the country. You call it Makasutu. You have a lot of floating house in Makasutu, and this is owned by the British brothers. You have Lawrence and John. They are here, but they have traditional name. We call them Jame and Kaba, because they got that area from my grandfathers in Brikama here. So they have that hotel with a lot of floating houses all over, which they're really doing very, very well. And it's a very expensive one. Most of the British High Commissioner goes there, the American ambassador goes there, those they are weekend in that place. So those are very interesting areas too in the Gambia. So this is the Gambia, very friendly people. By looking at our face, you have smiling face. And that's why we are the smiling coast of Africa. Thank you, Viva.
Honorable Sanneh, we have a message from a viewer, Win Wonderful. She said, nice to know about Gambia, that it's safe and peaceful country. Women and children are treated well. We also have a question from a viewer, Tongi Grass, and he asked, what is the national dish of the Gambia? What is your food here in
Our,
Gambia?
our, our
Your
national,
national dish. Yeah, what you
yes,
eat.
our national days notably are 18th February, that is our independence celebration, when Gambia gained her independence from the British protectorate. So that is a very, very important day. That is celebrated in a grand style, and we use a lot of foods in the country. And again, 95% of Gambians are Muslims. So there is Idul Adhan and Idul Fitr. That is the Kurete and Tobaski. Anytime those days come, like next month we will be into Ramadan. The conclusion of the Ramadan, that is that is a feast that is observed as a national day, where all of us will be going greeting one another, killing a lot of rams, taking food. There's a specific cuisine called benaki, and that one is very delicious. I wish you taste it. But if you come to the Gambia, we'll make sure that they cook that one for you. And you'll always remember that one. And we also have what we call Findi. Findi is a different cuisine that is in the Gambia here. It's very delicious when it is cooked. But that is also used on Idul Fit and Idul Hadha, Korite and Tobaski days. We also have the Commonwealth Day, which the student will converge in the school. They put on traditional clothes. They cook traditional foods. That is also a special day, a national day in the Gambia too. By all the school-going children, our Commonwealth Day. So these are days that are really cherished in the country, and they are celebrated in a national day. Then we also have what we call the Christmas. The Christmas is also intensively celebrated in the country, where they will cook a lot of cuisines from the church. People will go and celebrate. New Year is also celebrated in the country too here, where everybody will go like the New Year Eve. You go to Senegambia, if you heard of Senegambia, it will be jam-packed. It will take you 3 hours to cross almost 1 kilometer distance. People will be there showing a lot of things here and there. So New Year, those days are special days. They are regarded as national days of the country. Those are the national days of the country, Viva.
And for our final question, Honorable Lamin Sanneh, what is your inspiring message to the world?
I think this will recall my mind when we are advocating for WHD, World Humanitarian Drive, to declare September 3rd as a World Moral Education Day. Moral education is very key. It helps people to shape us morally. If people are morally inclined, they'll be ashamed to do certain things. And by doing so, the whole world will be at peace. So I want us to maintain that, bridging that disparity between the weak and the weak and the poor, to bridge that disparity, to help them come from that path and make sure that we live in a peaceful environment, an equitable distribution of resources, and equitable gender participation. Men and women are two sides of the same coin. We cannot be like mortal rivals. So we need their participation. If this is done and World Moral Education Day is promoted, we bridge the inequality, we bridge the disparity, we will be together. The world will be a peaceful place for every humanity. So I'm urging the UN to still remember this September as a World Moral Education Day. And let us try and do a lot of moral education, also help to bridge the inequality between the weak and the poor and the rich people. Also bridge the gap between the men and the women, girls and boys, as we are partners in the socio-economic development. Together, will be able to triumph any obstacle in this world, and it will be a safe place for all of us. I'm urging the entire globe, let's come together and promote this thing. Thank you, Viva.
That is a very inspiring message. Abaraka Bake. Thank you so much, Honorable Sanneh, for gracing us with your presence, sharing with us your passions, life lessons, motivations, and inspirations. In honor of international recognition for your virtue in persistently serving and inspiring humanity with your noble deeds, World Humanitarian Drive would like to award you Honorable Lamin J. Sanneh with Inspiring Humanitarian Award, signed on 19th of March 2021, signed by Dr. Abdul Basit Saeed, WHD founder and chairman. Thank you, Honorable Lamin J. Sanneh, for all your humanitarian works, and here's to many more. You're the recipient of WHD's Global Humanitarian Award, Stars of COVID, and Inspiring Humanitarian Award. Congratulations, and thank you for joining us here today.
You're welcome, Viva. I'm deeply honored to be a recipient of this noble certificate. That is really motivating me to go further, to do more for the humanity. I'm very much honored, and I want to seize this opportunity on behalf of my family, on behalf of my constituency, Brikama South, and the National Assembly of the Gambia, and the entire Gambia, to thank the World Humanitarian Drive for the rightful position the World Humanitarian Drive is taking in making sure the people are motivated, in making sure the humanity is served in every community we are, and creating peace all over the world. We thank you for the inspiration you are doing globally, and I'm urging all the other international NGOs to follow suit, to make sure that if we all endeavor in inspiring people all over the world will be at a better place for all of us. Thank you so much. I'm deeply honored to be a recipient of this. Thank you.
Inimbara Bake, congratulations.
National Assembly. Baraka, inimbara, abaraka. Kontanta Bake, kontanta Bake, purka ning certificate also from a noble institution called World Humanitarian. Ala baraka, viva, and Miss Sarah too, I thank you so much. She has been going back, she has going left and right, trying to give me every necessary information. Baraka Bake, Sarah too, and the proprietor of this noble institution. Ala baraka, kontanta, alama alayaljo, alama alayna kafo sambanyato, ayawilinya. Baraka Bake.
National Assembly Member, Brikama South Constituency of the Gambia, Honorable Lamin J. Sanneh. Thank you so much. Let us share a quote by someone who has been in the news a lot lately. Here is a quote about equality by Prince Harry. This is not just about women. We need men to recognize the part we play too. Real men treat women with the dignity and respect they deserve. We hope on this episode we were able to inspire you to use your abilities in making a difference in the world in your own way. Hopefully it goes without saying, we are all just human beings trying to get by. Let's respect one another regardless of gender, religion, or race. This has been World Humanitarian Drive's Inspiring Millions Show. If today's discussion inspired you, please share the link with your family and friends. Share with us your takeaways from today. Follow us on our social media accounts. Click subscribe on our YouTube channel, WHD Media. Visit our WHD website, www.whd.org.uk for more inspiring events. Stay safe and healthy, everyone. To our frontliners, we salute you. We thank you for your sacrifices and dedication to humanity. On behalf of WHD team, especially those working behind the scenes, WHD Chairman Dr. Abdul Basit Saeed, WHD Director of Global Operations, Ms. Sarah Wilson, WHD's Honorable Secretary Generals, we thank you, our virtual audience from around the world, for joining us. Did you know it's Sleep Awareness Week? Today is also World Sleep Day. Hope you're all getting sufficient sleep. If you'd like more info about it, if you're having difficulty sleeping in these times, visit worldsleepday.org. Have a wonderful weekend. I'm Viva Andrada O'Flynn. Please join us again next Friday. We will have a discussion with Rachel Grant, a Filipino-British Bond girl, adventurer, producer, host, as we inspire the world here on Inspiring Millions Show.